we're live. And I think we're coming through good, and we got a little bit different back set today. Let me make sure I got you in the place that I want you. Let's go this way. There we go. Okay. Hey, are you excited today? We are talking about doubling your sales. And you know, we can talk about a lot of things, but I always know this to be a fact. When the top line is screaming and growing and excelling and exceeding all expectations, everything else seems to always come together. So that's why I want to make sure that you're spending your time, effort, and energy on increasing that top line. You can't get rich. You can't build that multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar company saving money. You build it through building your sales, and you build your sales through building your sales process. And that's what Double Your Sales is about. And that's what we're here today about. And I'm pretty excited about it. Are you ready to double your sales? Are you ready to double your profit? Are you ready to take your business to the next level of success? And the key element you have to remember here is when you double your sales, you more than double your profit because you've already covered a lot of costs. And so you're making so much more money. So who's not doubling their sales? So who am I? Well, I'm Coach Manny, and my job is helping business owners to double their sales through strategic, tactical, and accountability methods. And that's, I do one thing, and we bust on your top line to new levels. That's what I do. So if you're struggling generating business, pick up the phone, get on the website, schedule an appointment, get a hold of me. If your sales team is off peak and you need some help pumping them up, get a hold of me. If you need to hire your first salesperson, or if you've had salespeople and they're just not working, or if the ones you have right now just aren't working, we should connect, because that's what I do better than anyone is build your top line with you. The question of the day today is, are you ready to double your sales? So that's the question today. Are you ready to double your sales? And if you are, then you've come to the right place, right? I mean, isn't that why we're here today? That's why we're here today. And if you're joining us late, remember today's topic is doubling your sales. And the real question is, are you ready to double your sales? Are you ready to take your business to that new level of success? Double Your Sales Part 1, that's what we're here today. And we're going to share 5 methods with you. I am excited to have you on the program today. So without any further hesitation, other than to tell you, please share this. A shout out to those with us today. It's great to have you here. And let's see what we can do about doubling your business. That's the first point, and that's the first topic on the agenda. So the number one thing we're going to talk about today is who. Who are you selling to? And let me put that question out there because it always starts right here. And I don't care what else you do. The question always on the table is, who are you selling to? Because if you're not selling, if you're not going after the right people who can buy what you want and who want to buy what you want, then there's a real issue. And don't tell me that age-old answer, which is, excuse me, everybody. Because if you're trying to go after everybody, you know who you're going after? You're really going after nobody. How well have you defined your target market? Have you taken the time the energy, the effort, the work to define how much sales, or what's the level of sales of the people that I want to go after? How many employees should they have in their organization? What position is the best buyer for me? What age group is the best age of that buyer? Are they male? Are they female? If you're in the consumer market, what's the income? What neighborhoods do they hang out in, live in? Answering the who, and as tight as possible, especially if you're going to do some stuff like we always talk about doing Facebook advertising and those type of things. You need to know who you're going after, and you need to know it as best as possible. In fact, the tighter your who, the greater your opportunity will be to go where we're trying to take you, which is where? To double your business. Because remember, doubling your sales will take your profit to astronomical levels. It's just the way it works. So, item 1 is the who. Action. You know, I always want to make sure you got something to do out there. Action for item 1. Sit down and create a very tight list that defines your who as clearly as you can. This is your avatar. We've talked about this time and time again. This is what the course starts out with that we're going to talk about in a little bit. First, define who. Now, once you define the who, then we're ready to go to the second piece of the puzzle. And the second piece of the puzzle is, what are you selling? And I know when I present this live, a lot of people are, and let me put that out there for you, are always asking me, well, what do you mean, what am I selling? I only sell this. But then when I have that conversation with them, I find out, and they find out, and they come to this, I don't know if you call it revelation, to say, I sell all these different things. No wonder people, I'm confusing my customer, which is what happened. You know, I'm not crazy, but I can tell you this. Take a look at what you sell. If as a potential buyer, take a look at it from your buyer standpoint. And how many times do we stress that what you need to be doing is you need to be looking at your business from the buyer's standpoint. What is the buyer looking at you like? Yeah, I used to work with people, a lot of people with websites. We still do a lot of work in that area with companies, clients. But the question always comes, well, I love this website. Who cares? Does your customer and your potential customer, do they love it? Does your customer or your potential customer understand what the product is, what it does, what it looks like? Do they know? Because if they don't, you're fighting an uphill battle. They're never going to buy. If you sell insurance, you need to say, what's my lead product? What is the product that I'm going to get known by? What is it that I walk in and people say, here comes Manny, the life insurance guy, or here comes Manny, the health insurance guy. If you sell computer support, it's here comes Manny, the security guy. Here comes Manny, the managed services person. What is it? Or if you're selling printing, what's your lead? Here comes Manny. These guys are the world's experts in tech forms. And of course you sell everything else. If I do a lead in life insurance, I sell health, I sell PNC, I sell a lot of other things. But I got to have something to open a door. If I sell computer equipment, what's my lead in? If I sell printing, being the expert in special forms can open a lot of doors. And once the doors open, you can sell a lot of different things. Action number 2 for today. Sit down and prioritize your products. What are your 3 top products? And what is your number 1 product? Now, I know some of you will say, or service. Some of you will say, well, I only sell one thing. And let's say you're in a real estate market. You say, I only sell houses. Okay, that's not true. Do you sell high-end houses? Are they 2 million plus? Do you sell low-end houses? Are they under 100,000? Do you sell houses to first-time buyers? Do you sell apartments? Do you sell townhouses? And don't give me that answer, I sell everything. You don't. Take a look at, yes, you can sell everything, but you only have so much marketing dollars. And where are you putting them? Let's keep going. Number 3, geographically. Now, in today's internet world, there's a lot of people who sell all over the world. I agree with you. But there's a lot of people that just can't do that. And so we break them down and we say, from a computer, from a internet standpoint, you can say, just let my stuff go to the United States. I can say even further, just let it go to the state of New Jersey. I can say even further, just let it go to Salem County. I can say even further, just let it go to within 10 miles of this zip code. See, I can narrow it in. Now, in some industries, you want to really narrow in your what you're going after. If I'm a restaurant, how far will people drive? Unless I'm a really top end, but I'll drive to Philadelphia for certain restaurants. I might go to New York to have dinner somewhere, but that's not the most restaurant. And most restaurants are trying to attract the people within 6 miles, 5-6 miles. So you need to get that geographically controlled, especially today with local marketing. And if you're doing anything with the web or you're doing anything with digital marketing, then you need to really focus in. Again, where am I looking at? And the one good thing that digital marketing has kind of taught us and helped us understand is to get granular and even more granular in that area. So I think that's something we really got to pay attention to. And most people don't think about it because, when we used to sell, we used to run the ad in the local paper. Nobody reads the local paper except for the local people, unless you're in a little town like I am, which is a little town like Elmer, and people get the paper no matter, they may live halfway across the world today, but they're from this town. But today, if you put something out, you really got to understand, where do I want it to go? So action number 3, and we're giving you 5 actions today, and you can do all these, and then you can continue to build your process. And you can say, do I need the tool? Well, I'll show you that in a minute. But the action, determine the answer to the question as to where your market is. Not where can you sell, but where are you marketing into? The question to everyone here today, if you're on this video or you're on as a podcast, however you're on, do you like what we're doing? And are you really interested in doubling your own sales? That's the question on the table. Do you feel good about it? Then now is the time to act. And guess what it's going to cost you to start looking at this process? Absolutely nothing. And a lot of you may already have been looking at it because we've been offering the free course for 3 to 4 months now, and it's called How to Define Your Target Market. This course is actually part of the bigger product which we have available called Double Your Sales. Now, I'll tell you 2 things that are going on. A, let me put the link out here for you. And remember, you can get to anything directly through Coach Manny. This will take you right to the page where you can sample. Because I want you to sample before you buy. I want you to say, this stuff's good or it's no good, right? And if it's no good for you, then don't buy it. I don't want you to buy it. But I also want to point out to you, and I give you a second link here, and the link's not, this page is not really where we want it yet, but I wanted to get it out for this broadcast anyway. because one of the things we're doing, and this second link will get you to the actual course. Second thing we're doing right now is you can get the entire course. Did I put that out there? Yeah, hold on. Let's see. I don't know if I got it out there right. Yeah. Okay, the second course here, the second link that we put out there for you is you can get the entire course right now. It's usually $9.97. Right now, we're really adjusting the price to $500. So, and it's like 10 modules. It's video. It's everything. Go out there. I'm not going to spend valuable teaching time telling you about what we're selling, but I just want to bring it to your attention, and we'll go from there. Let's keep going. Number 4. The fourth thing you need to say is, how am I going to sell this? The how is so important. This is the one that takes all the work. Do you have a sales process yet? From initial contact to close and beyond. Is it documented? Have you tested it? This is where most entrepreneurs make their biggest mistake. I can tell you from working with people on the sales process for so long, this is the place where the mistakes are made. You try and bring in a salesperson and they have no process and they have no communications of expectations or definitions. And what happens is the salesperson comes in, I thought you only needed me to sell $100 this first month. And the business owner says, I meant 100,000. Oh, I think we're on different pages. You are, because you have no process. And don't feel like you're the Lone Ranger or the only person out there or feel embarrassed. Let me tell you, I know so many business owners who think that when they're ready, they just go out and hire a salesperson, and us salespeople are magicians who can make business appear. If I could do that, I wouldn't be doing this. I would just be doing, I just go out and keep making business appear, right? You need a process in place. So, and this is really action number 4 for today. You can do this yourself, but you need a process. Even just a simple process to start out with, saying, you know, this is how we get leads. This is what we do with them. This is how we close them. Just simple terms. This is one thing that we do for our clients. We do it better than anyone else out there. So if you need some help, this is something you might be interested in, but you need a process. What happens from the time you get a lead till the time you close that business? In fact, your process should take even more than that. It should say, how do I get those leads in the first place? And so, see that? Sometimes we do video, and what do? We leave the phone on. Isn't that terrible? Oh, gosh, I hate when that happens, and it messes up my video. But, you know, as we were talking about, you know, doing live videos, that's one of the things that can happen, right? We leave our phone on, and it distracts us. Number 5 is defining the why. Why are you selling this product or service? This is where I'm going to get really animated. I'm going to get fired up. And if I was on stage, I would be jumping and rolling and rocking, because the why is what makes it happen. You got to understand, without the why, it doesn't happen. Why are you selling this product or service? This is the wow. Why should your buyer get excited? Why should they buy? Have you ever seen a salesperson come in and they're the most boring person? They're quiet. They don't talk. They don't do nothing. They don't try to talk to you. They don't try to ask you questions. And then they don't really have a lot of power and energy about their product. And then you wonder, or they wonder why they didn't buy. Please. Yeah. People buy because you're excited and you get them excited. Yes, they may want your product, but let's understand something. People buy. Why? Because they want what you have. And your final call to action, today is really simple. Your final call to action says, okay, I got all that. Now, let me define my why. Sit down really, and you know what? If you don't do anything else we talked about today, I want you really to define your why. Because you're going to be amazed if you do this at what can happen. So that's the double your sales process, first 5 points just to start you, get you interested, get you fired up, and I hope get you excited. But before you can double, you have to understand the answers to these questions. And remember, double your sales is not a process that you do once. It's a process that continuously goes on. If I start at, let's say you're just a startup, you got $100,000 worth of business a year, and we're going to take you to 200,000. And from 200, your next goal will be 400. And from 400, you go to 8. And when you get to 8, you go to 1.6, right? You know the doubling thing about the pennies? It works in sales as well. It's amazing. So I have one more thing. You know, we talked about the double your sales process. I think it's exciting, but I got one more thing I want to talk to you about today, and that is what we are so pumped up about, and which relates directly to doubling your sales, which is 90 days to your success. And we have the link ready. I think we put this out there last week. I have to go back and look, but the link is out there. It is 90 days to your success. And listen, any link we talk about, if you're not on the video part watching this, just go to Coach Manny, and that's MANNY.com. Right there on the screen is all this stuff. Right there on the screen is 90 days to success, is doubling your sales. But what 90 days to success is a process. How do you get more done in less time? That's what 90 days to success is all about. How do you get more done in less time? Are you in? How do you get more done in 90 days than most people get done in an entire year? If I could show you that, would you be in? Successful people, bottom line is, successful people get more done before noon than most people do all day long into the night. So, if you're ready for 90 days to success, if you're ready in your business, your life, your career, ready to get more done, ready to have more free time, ready to dump much of the frustration you've been having because you want to double your sales, but how am I going to fit this into my package? Well, this is the course for you, so please check that out. I know we talk a lot about the tools, but I want to educate you, and I want you to get these tools, and I want you to use these tools because I want you to find that great success, because you can do it. This is Coach Manny saying it's wonderful to be here. Get out there, remember those 5 points, and make sure you're putting them into your business, right? You are making sure of that, right? Who are you going to sell to? What are you going to sell them? Where is your geographic reach? How are you going to make this happen? And of course, the big thing is why. Again, CoachManny.com. All the stuff that we talk about is always there. Our podcast is on every week. I hope you're watching that. Hey, I'm excited. What about you? Get out there and this week and start on that road to doubling your sales. Thanks for being with me.